Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Domfe. Our next panelist is Dr. Frank Bano. Doc, please, you're invited to the stage. Dr. Frank Bano is the head of research at Dankwa Institute. He is also a lecturer and head of MBA program at Accra Business School and a postdoctoral research fellow at the University of Johannesburg, South Africa. He holds a PhD in economics from the University of Johannesburg, South Africa. Frank also holds a Master of Science in Economics, a Bachelor of Science in Economics and Statistics, awarded by the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Ghana. A PhD non-degree covering impact assessment and climate economics from the Norwegian University of Life Sciences, Norway, and a high national diploma in statistics from Accra Technical University. Dr. Frank Bano possesses about 14 years of work experience, which include lecturing at prestigious international universities and senior roles in policy think tanks. Some of the positions he has occupied include lecturer, monetary and public economics at the University of Johannesburg, South Africa, lecturer, micro and microeconomics at the IIE-MSA, formerly Monash University, Johannesburg, South Africa, program manager, climate change at the Public and Environmental Economics Research Center, School of Economics, University of Johannesburg, South Africa, and Director of Policy Research and Training, CDS Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Bano. Our next panelist is Dr. Charles Etiahene. Doc, please, you are invited. Dr. Charles Etiahene has over 25 years' experience in finance and accounting, taxation, risk management, procurement, foods, pension funds. He is a chartered accountant and a member of, he's also a fellow of the ACCA UK, the Institute of Chartered Accountants Ghana, Chartered Institute of Taxation Ghana, Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, where he's an associate member, CAS, European Institute of Management, France, Doctor of Philosophy, University of Ghana Business School, the Finance, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Master of Philosophy, Risk and Finance. He is married to a good wife and has 3 children. His hobby is swimming. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Charles Etiahene. And last but not the least is our own Mr. David Amoatin. Please, let us welcome him. Mr. David Kojo Amoatin is a married man. He's falling out from Doc. He completed Bonyure LA Methodist in 1990. He is an astute businessman with a lot of experience, but I want to add practical experience. He loves to support and inspire other people in the entrepreneurship journey. His hard work and dedication have earned him the position as the president of Traders Advocacy Group, Ghana, TAG. And I'm sure most of you have heard of him on several radio and television stations. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Mr. David Kojo Amoatin. So the theme is arresting the dollar, political rhetoric or economic reality. And as we were told, we have the former IGP here. And I'm sure by the time we do justice to the topic, Mr. Chairman, if the dollar is arrested, this time it's not going to be let loose again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause.
Somebody just beckoned me that I didn't introduce myself. My name is Alex Kojobo. I am a marketing and public relations and advertising consultant. I am an entrepreneur and I am a farmer. I used to teach at the Ghana Institute of Journalism Advertising. I am your MC for this program. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my MC. I hear the next on the agenda is my welcome address. So, if you permit me, I shall give you my welcome address before we start. I'm quite a bit unorthodox, so I ask for forgiveness in advance, and you would understand why later. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, esteemed panelists, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you to this highly anticipated economic symposium centered on the theme Arresting the Dollar, Political Rhetoric or Economic Reality. Today, as we gather to address the topic of profound importance and urgency for our nation, Ghana, COVID has presented the nation with severe challenges that force the leadership of this country to choose between the economy and saving human lives at significant cost. Leadership chose the latter as evidenced in the President of the Republic's famous quote in April 2020. We know how to bring the economy back to life, but what we do not know is how to bring people back to life, unquote. This was a moral decision against an economic decision. But guess what? We are now alive to ensure that we see the journey towards economic recovery. And it's going to be a very tortuous journey. The post-COVID era, worsened by the Russia-Ukraine war, has presented us with significant economic challenges, particularly in the realm of currency stability. The depreciation of the cedi against major foreign currencies, especially the US dollar, has been a pressing issue, impacting all facets of our economy, from the cost of living to the confidence of investors on our economy, and from our international trade dynamics to the stability of our macroeconomic fundamentals. As we delve into the complexities surrounding forex depreciation, we must confront the broader economic landscape that has influenced this downturn. The pandemic exacerbated existing vulnerabilities and exposed the fragility of our economic structures. The resulting fiscal deficits, rising debt levels, and inflationary pressures have necessitated a robust dialogue on sustainable economic policies and the role of political will in steering us towards stability. Our esteemed panelists, who bring a wealth of knowledge and diverse perspectives, will help us navigate this critical discourse. They will examine the intersection of political rhetoric and economic reality, exploring whether the measures and promises put forth by our leaders are feasible solutions or mere aspirations. Today's symposium is not just about diagnosing problems, but also about creating a chart, a path forward. It is about understanding the intricate balance between political actions and economic imperatives, and about identifying practical strategies to stabilize our currency and revitalize our economy. I encourage each one of you to engage actively in this discussion, to question, to challenge, and to collaborate. Your insights and contributions are invaluable as we seek to build a resilient economic future for Ghana. Once again, welcome and thank you for your participation. Let us embark on this journey with an open mind and a shared commitment to finding tangible solutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. So this is the first in the series of economic symposia that ABC News will be running. And as the theme goes, arresting the dollar, political rhetoric or economic reality. Ladies and gentlemen, and with the indulgence of my chairman, can I please invite Honorable Kofi Ahinkra Mafu to give us.
Let me warmly introduce my colleague that I came with, that is Executive Secretary of the GGA President, Mr. Efo Maugbe, who is with me in the hall here. Ladies and gentlemen, when GGA President told me yesterday night that I should be at the GNAT Hall to represent him, I got the flyer. And when I saw that the host of this show is Mr. Gordon Asare-Bediako, I did not even blink. All that I told President, Mr. President, I will do that. And I said that because Mr. Gordon Asare-Bediako is a remarkable professional journalist. I have respect for him. And the respect is based on the fact that he does not speak to speculation. He does not speak to rumor. He does not speak to gestures or propaganda. He is always factual and he speaks with evidence. And when it is backed by the law, then you are doing journalism. And those are the values I also stand for. Anytime I see journalism, and sometimes I shake my head, but I know that we can make it. And so the topic on it, is it rhetoric or is it true? And this is what journalism is about. So I am not surprised that Mr. Gordon Asare-Bediako has the first edition focusing on this one. As journalists, we need to walk away from where we are not so sure of what we are talking about. We should make sure that the information we give to the public is what can help them make a decision for a prosperous future. Now, let me quickly go to the reason why I am standing in front of you and start by saying, I bring you warm greetings from the President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Mr. Albert Kwabena Jumfo. He would have loved to be here himself, but because of other pressing engagement outside Accra, as I speak with you, he is in the Ashanti region. But he sends you his warm regards and wants you to believe that this is a program that is very dear to him. When we talk about experts, then he is all for it. Now, looking at the array of experts billed to speak on this program, nothing stops short to conclude that we would all live here well informed, better positioned, and then we can now know whether it is arresting the dollar is a rhetoric or it has any component of being a reality, so that we will see the better position for our economy. Economic prosperity is supposed to be encouraged by all of us. And if I look at the array of persons sitting down here, I know we'll do justice to this. My humble plea is that let us all calm down and listen attentively. And I'll plead with the experts so arranged also to engage, ask questions, and then make sure that all of us will leave this room with a better appreciation of the problems in front of us. We are all aiming at building a prosperous Ghana for all of us. Let me use this opportunity to commend the organizer of the program, Gordon Asaribiriakon, for the important program and assure you of the GJA's unflinching support and collaboration. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bosompim. Chairman says don't go. Keep standing. Can we do it for Mr. Bosompim? With an extension to the GJA president. So, point where we were invited to come. That is the panel discussion. I've just been hinted that we are live on Movement TV. So as you see there, you should be smiling a little bit because you are live on TV. So, Mr. Chairman, I think the occasion has finally arrived with all our fantastic guests under your care, please.
Thank you very much. Don't go. I told you I was very unconventional. Before I go to my panelists, I'm just going to do something, which is related to the topic. You see this fine gentleman here? Come and stand here, please. Before I sit down. We're going to talk about the Forex. Now, let me ask the audience. Come this way. And also, 98%. Okay, how about my honorable friend here? What percentage of Forex does he need to look the way he's looking? Oh, are you sure? The shoe is made in Ghana. Okay, so 55%. So let's say we have the whole country wanting to look like this. What do you think will happen to the demand for Forex? Very, very high. Alai? Very, very high. If the whole Ghana wants to look like this man, and we don't have a lot of Forex, but we want to look like this man, what will happen to the price of Forex? Why will it go high? Because we want it. Are you with me? So we are going to make this discussion very, very practical, because there's a role all of us play in determining this thing called Forex. Thank you very much, guys. If you look at our panelists too, you will see the ones. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we're going to go. Thank you. I saw in The Economist one day, The Economist is a financial economics journal. And then I saw a quote which really piqued my interest, and that is why I didn't hesitate to come and chair this function. And I'm going to read a quote to you. The quote says, "If economists, people like us sitting here, want to be understood, let them use plain words, and address those words less to politicians and more to everybody else. Politicians care about what voters think, all of you, what you think. The politicians care about it. Especially voters in blocks. And not a shred about what economists say, people like us. The politicians don't really care about us, but they care about you more. Talking that are literate, unquote. That is why I am extremely happy to be here. And I want to plead with my panelists that we need to communicate in plain words so that our electorate will be literate in economics, and then they will demand from the government the policies that will help them lead a happy life. Thank you very much. So let me go straight to my panelists. You remember the Vice President quoted some time back that if the fundamentals of the economy is weak, the foreign exchange will expose you. Please, kindly break that into plain, simple terms for us. And I will start by
you. In fact, it's been on the radar for these discussions for so many years after that speech, and we've been talking about. We have seen a lot of trends over the period, and it's a testament to that statement. Today, what is the exchange rate? In fact, in Ghana, the only thing that we are not specific in Ghana are population. If you ask anybody what's the population, it's close, it's almost very close to. And one is, I think, inflation. We are sometimes not specific on the figures, but let's assume it's 14%. It started from somewhere, and today we are close to 14%. If the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. Today, are we exposed? I'm sure out of the discussions, a lot of issues will come up, and we address them in due course. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. Can Dr. Domfe also comment on the same matter? if the fundamentals are weak. He even went further recently to say it was true then and it is true now.
Yes, so I also say it was true at the time he said it, and it is very true today because once exchange rate, you have to exchange more of your local currency for few of foreign currencies. It tells you that you are not producing anything. And so you are depending so much on what others are producing. And when you do that, unemployment goes up, you know, and that is really what we are seeing. We teach students sometimes 14, 15 years. You meet them on the street and they are still carrying their CVs. And so that tells you about how we are always ready to consume what others have produced. And the moment you do that, you are not creating jobs. So the example that you gave, my senior brother here is creating jobs.
Thank you.
I'm not helping with the job creation. Thank you.
Dr. Frank Bano, on the same matter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Yes, so like you rightly said, I think the matrices that we should be looking at this argument from is from the data that existed then and the data that exists today.
Yes.
So in 2016, 2015, 2016, what were the microeconomic indicators then? I mean, let's take, for example, an important microeconomic indicator or a measure as gold reserves, which keeps your currency more stable and also strong against major currencies. I mean, at the time, 2016, that this comment was made, Ghana, that is a central bank, which is the Bank of Ghana, had a gold reserve of, I think, about 8.7 metric tons then. Today, we are looking at a gold reserve of about 34.7 metric tons then.
Excellent.
So in terms of the data, I mean, there has been a massive improvement over the years. So that is very critical. Now, another important thing that we also look at is your trade balance. I mean, like Dr. Dunfer rightly said, if you are not producing enough, then it means that you are having more imports than exports. So again, I would want to refer to the data then. I mean, in 2016, we're looking at a deficit of, I think, about 4.1, 4.3% there. That is, we have a situation whereby we're importing more than what services and commodities that as a nation we required. For example, let me give you an example. When you look at rice sufficiency in 2016, rice sufficiency in 2016 was barely under 21% thereabout, meaning that if you take every 100 bags of rice that we consume in Ghana, we were more or less importing close to about 80 bags into the country. Now today, 2023, I wouldn't want to use 2024, 2023 data. Now, we have a situation whereby for every 100 bags of rice that we consume, roughly close to 4.8 of those bags is produced locally. So in these terms, then you can say that looking at the data from 2017 up until even today, looking at the first quarter of 2024, I mean, I'm making reference to the May BOG Economic and Data Summary Report. We actually have recorded, even in this year, a trade surplus of, I think, about 0.9% of GDP, which is very an improvement in that sense. Now, another thing that we also consider is in terms of the imports, and here imports, I would want to look at it from both the cars and agricultural imports as a whole. Now, if you take the number of cars that we were importing over the years, I mean, across board, we've been importing approximately 100,000 cars a year into the country. I mean, to be specific, in 2023, Ghana actually imported 120,000 cars into the country. Now, these 120,000 cars or 100,000 cars averagely per data cost us between about 1.14 billion just to bring in these cars. Now, what is interesting about this data is that if you go into the details, you have about 90% of these cars that are imported into the country being second-hand used. So you are having less than 10% being brand new cars. Now, check this out. Now, out of these 10%, which constitute about 6,000 of the brand new cars, 4,700 of these brand new cars are assembled locally. That was demanded in 2023. Previously, it wasn't the case. So basically, if you are referring to the data, then yes, you could say that the statement was very valid. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. So, Dr. Charles Etuahine.
Yes, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. The year's economic fundamentals, what are they? He has given some fundamentals. However, fundamentals today, what's the inflation rate today? Those are the economic indicators. Inflation rate today is about 23%. What the exchange rate today is about 15, some place 15.4, 15.5 to a dollar. Or the unemployment rate today. What's a bag of rice today? How much do you pull from your pockets as Ghana City? Get a bag of rice, and how much was in 2016? Looking at the inflation level, has your income, okay, also be increased to compensate for the inflation? Are you able to afford all these things now when compared to about around 2016? How much is the interest rate when you want to borrow and do your business? You have to pay over 30, 35, 38%, some place even 40%. So if I'm to buy thing for say 1 cedi and pay interest say 35 pesos, so my production cost at the start is 1 cedi 35 pesos. When we go to Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, and other places, you know, their inflation rates, some are just 3.82%. And Ghana, here's the case, talk about 23%. Well, 23%, you may calculate at 23%. Inflation is simple. How much did you buy a bag of rice yesterday? And how much are you buying today? The differences stand for inflation. I do not think inflation is 23%. Go to Abrochi markets. How much is a cost of, say, tomato, Olonka size? Even in January and today, how much it is? Is it really 20% or 23%? Yes, inflation is aggregate, though. By individual level, when it comes to those who have lower income, those are the lower level income, they are largely affected than those who are the higher.